Alright, so it is too loud. Okay, welcome to SPARKSTER for SNES. Completely different game than Rocket Knight Adventures 2 SPARKSTER for Sega Genesis. A game which is utter and absolute garbage. This is the good SPARKSTER. It is probably my favorite Rocket Knight game. Obviously the reboot, although I thought it was a fine game at the time, it's not really in competition. As I just said, fake SPARKSTER is garbage. Not even worth playing. And Rocket Knight Adventures is really good, but I just feel like this one has more depth to it. I like the challenge of it better, and it just kind of feels more rewarding to replay. There's a higher skill ceiling, you might say. So here in stage 1, or the first half of stage 1, just getting all the gems for the purpose of saving up 1-ups for later on when the game becomes complete bullshit. And I just try to stay high in the air and avoid those wolves on the ground. Even though they're the most basic enemy type, they're actually pretty annoying. So one of the big differences between this game and Rocket Knight Adventures, what I guess I feel like is the defining difference, is the roll maneuver that you can do using the shoulder buttons, only found on Super Nintendo. Mega Drive don't have shoulders. And because of that extra maneuver, the left and right roll, primarily useful in the air, you can not only cancel out of a rocket boost, but you can also continuously rocket boost in the air, because once you've canceled the first one, you can start charging another. And I demonstrated that in that first area. It's not necessary to play the game, but it certainly makes the game feel more fluid. Alright, here we're going to do just a little wolf milk. This is a really strange trap. It's like this little secret area when you break down the wall, except it's just a monster closet that infinitely spawns. I have tried for like 5 minutes. Now, I don't know if this is a timer-on situation where you have to wait 100 minutes before something happens there, but as far as I can tell, it's just infinite. You can get all the points you want, and it'll mean nothing, because there are no point-based extends in this game. So hard mode changes some things. Enemies attack more. I think there are some places where there are more enemies, and there are fewer healing items. I don't think enemies do more damage. Well, I haven't really taken notes on that. And I don't think that bosses have extra HP or anything like that. This guy's kind of a bastard. You just tank it. So there is a limit to how many rolls you can do in the air, and that limit is 6, I believe. And then SPARKSTER goes into this falling state and cannot recover without touching the ground. And even when he does touch the ground, he still has to wait out a timer for the recovery. So you don't want to overroll, but it's not too hard because 6 is a lot. So yeah, kind of just having the perfect timing for the boost charge will help you get through that boss, because his laser fires at a pretty strict timing. Like, you really only have time for one jump, and as soon as you land, it's going to be firing. So you want to launch that rocket boost as soon as it's ready. Have that internalized. Can't be waiting for the game's audiovisual cue. But in that department, it is really cool that you got the meter at the top that shows you the boost is charging. When it's full, it flashes to let you know it's ready. And also, SPARKSTER's rocket pack starts sparking, I guess. So it's good to see, charge moves were very in vogue in the early 90s. Your Mega Mans and your, I don't know, just seemingly every platform. Your Mega Mans, your Metroids, your ActRaisers, Castlevania Bloodlines. I don't need to list them, because it was just such a common way of adding to the moveset, basically, without extra buttons. Strikers 1945. Just throw an extra one in there. So in the stages, generally the traps and hazards, or the enemies and hazards, don't do very much damage. It's not like Rocket Knight Adventures where you only get 3 or 4 hits before dying. In the case of hard mode, only 1 hit before dying. In SPARKSTER, even in hard mode, you do have a lot of HP, but there are instant death traps. Like there's rollers that I just jumped over and it will definitely kill me somewhere later in the stage. And there are also bosses which deal more damage and just last long enough that you can't be careless. Again, on hard. On normal, you could be pretty careless. Hey, DK. What's up? 3 up, 3 up, 3 up, 3 up, 3 up. Oh, banana, I don't even need it. I'm leaving it there out of spite. Someone local did that last year. Yeah, it happens. And you really can't blame people. It's one crime that I think you should get at least 1 pass for. Gems. Whoa. It's kind of messed up. He was adopted from Ukraine. Yeah, I mean... yeah, I don't know if you get a pass for adopted parents. I mean, obviously, if they were, like, abusing you or something. There's anti-Ukrainian stuff going on here. Oh, yeah, because of the... oh. So it was like his adopted parents were anti-Ukraine? Was it a kid? or if this was just like a grown man. I guess it probably wasn't a kid. It was probably a grown man whose parents turned against the Ukraine. $18. Okay. Well, that's full-blown murder then, isn't it? And we didn't even get a Roller's death, so we didn't get to see the animation or milk gems for their lives. Yeah, a lot of Eastern Europeans have anger issues. It's pretty common over there. I don't know if it's the weather, the language, the constant warfare, the history of the legacy of communism. Well, the shrimp is doing fine. We're doing real good on SPARKSTER. Almost had the hard mode clear earlier today. Was interrupted once, then I was interrupted again, and then I was interrupted again, and then I started contemplating violence. But let's just play SPARKSTER. So yeah, game just gets more fun because I get better at using the dash. Just a brew of everything, yeah. Over in Eastern Europe. Oh no, what the? The ostrich backs up to catch you? I miss health items. Yeah, you can call me out about my last stream. What happened? Do you mean last stream as in the one that happened an hour ago? Do you mean last stream as in the one that happened 5 hours ago? Or do you mean last stream as in the one that happened like 3 or 4 days ago? I'm guessing you mean 3 or 4 days ago. Ah, the one shirt sleeve. Some people complain about this when I do that. So I have, like pajama shirts, you know, that I only wear inside. Usually, you know, after I get out of the shower, before I go to bed, whatever. You know what pajamas are, right? And they're really big. They're like, I get like a XXX, or I have one that's a 5X. And it's really comfy to just have your arms inside the shirt. You know, you don't need to put them through the sleeves. And just kind of, you know, you do like one of these. I mean, this shirt is not one of those, but you know, you do this, you just go back under here and you're warm, and then you're just up here. It's great. You feel like Shiro Mifune. And, so normally I'd have both arms inside the shirt, but I noticed when I was streaming that when I did, I had both arms inside the shirt, and then I was holding the controller, like, I'm not going to show it here, but you could see my stomach. You know, the shirt was like showing a little too much skin. So I did put one arm through, but I still wanted to stay comfy. Yeah, I mean, don't worry, it didn't ever go out on air that way. I was aware of the potential problem there. I did test it out first, and I was like, yep, that doesn't work. Alright, so that is unfortunate. We screwed up this stage. And that's not a place where I want to lose momentum, especially because we're actually doing kind of bad on lives right now, since we lost one on stage 1. We didn't get any extras on stage 2. Yeah, so, you know, come again sometime, and maybe I'll be wearing another large shirt like that. Thanks for noticing, by the way, that it was a Metal Gear Solid shirt. Yeah, it says Outer Heaven. It's actually a really cool shirt. If I do say so myself. Oh, I'm screwing it up. Oh, God. Oh, come on. Now I'm going to get bad RNG. Alright, so this boss is an illustration of why it's important to have a lot of HP in Sparkster compared to Rocket Knight Adventures. Because Rocket Knight Adventures is very consistent to play. It's what the young kids would call a memo game. Sparkster has a pretty substantial amount of randomization in the enemy's behaviors, or AI type behaviors that are effectively unpredictable. Yes, you can stretch out the ostrich's legs to make him tall. It is a pretty sick feature. But you don't want to do that in this fight because you don't want to destroy more than one segment at a time. Otherwise it creates a complete mess. If I take another death here, I might reset. It'd be great if you throw me an apple. Alright, we should be alright now. Yeah, so this is a place where you want to use the tall seem to get more hits on the head. And you use the roll to stay airborne above the flamethrower. Again, like the boss's behavior there, when it shoots the flame, seems kind of random, or at least the way it matches up with the bumps in the terrain makes it effectively unpredictable. So it's important to use the roll just to stay at the top of the screen. Here we got these snake things, have a lot of HP. Don't need to kill them. Let's leave no prisoners. Oh. This stage, this is like the easy stage. If I die here, I have only myself to blame. In all other circumstances, I can definitely find someone else to take the blame. Oh, come on with this. Turn around. So something that might surprise you here, you don't actually need to duck to get under the laser. You can just stand. But if you duck, you get a cool Easter egg of a fish. Now this section is teaching you a very important skill that will be tested again in the final stage, which is to be patient, even when it's boring. Because in the final stage, we'll have a very similar challenge, except you'll need to duck the whole time. There'll be about 15 more trenches than there are here, and making a mistake will be an instant death. Not hard, but requires patience. Okay, yeah, so this is, I mentioned in stage 1 that the basic wolf-type enemy, I think I mentioned that on this run, the basic wolf-type enemy is actually more annoying than you would think, because as they get close to you, they jump, and they tend to go right over your attack. So I try to avoid those guys as much as possible. Here I just do whatever, tank it, it's not going to do that much damage. Here's secret. A lot of these ceiling secrets make sense. It's game where you have a rocket boost, so explore high. Rocket Knight Adventures does it too, but not nearly to the same extent. It's like there's one, basically. Hey Milan, I'm drinking too. I got a beer. Alright, so here's the scary part that's actually really easy. For every layer of this escape sequence, all you do is boost once, run to the opening, boost up, and then roll cancel out of the boost. It is basically the most important place to know about the roll cancel. Or I guess the most particular test of it. You can get through that section without the roll cancel, but you're going to hate your life doing it. 69 gems, by the way. Oh, what the? RNG. Usually you're safe to just boost across on the ground there. Alright, so now we have this joke of a boss. The fact that its first phase is these 3 cannons that can't even aim down at you is just sad. Fast bullets? What, you mean they're faster than normal, or you mean they just seem fast? Yeah, and the second phase of the boss is also a complete joke. He's very non-aggressive. He's very slow. His hitbox is basically defenseless. And at best, he's going to hit you once or twice. And you probably have full health or near full health coming in because of that secret fish right after the water escape. Yeah, he's the old dancing robot, you know? Treasure reference, anyone? Alright, so for this part, you're supposed to just fly over everything. Don't screw it up. So you can just skip the outside of the pyramid. There's really nothing except there's a really small amount of gems. If you're flying over, it's not worth it though. And so here we have the 3-shaft pyramid. The left shaft and the right shaft are fixed, but the one in the center has these 3 connected pieces or passageways that you can cycle between. And you can use those to explore the rooms on either side. Basically, there's 3 rooms for your bats. There's 3 rooms I like to go to outside of the exit. You can get right to the exit without, if you know where it is, you can get right to the exit without going through any of the other rooms. But I like to get those gems and this one up over here. And then, because we lost some health, those stupid bats, let's go up to the health room. This maze was pretty confusing to me at first, but you get the hang of it. It's simple. The trickiest part really is that as you enter and exit each room, you are forced through this revolving door, which will cycle the passageway. It's not like a switch that you need to manually press as you walk by. So yeah, this is the exit. It's the mid-boss, one of the harder mid-bosses, or at least more frustrating. Maybe the only hard mid-boss, actually. First phase, I really shouldn't have taken damage on. It is easy. The second phase moves around so randomly, I don't know any safe way of fighting it. So I try to just, hit it with enough boosts, have enough HP going in, and try to get hit on less than 50% of your attacks. Starting those pyramid chains can be kind of tricky too. Feels awkward because of the way you bounce off the walls, but just do it quickly. Don't get scared. There's this little bonus area. Alright, this is one of my least favorite platforming challenges in the game. I never understand how these spears are synchronized. Okay, it worked out well that time. I think it's based on when they are loaded. I have no idea when that is. Sometimes the timing just seems impossible to do. Alright, we got 5 lives. Let's roll. See if we can get the 3 up. 3 up, 3 up, 3 up, 3 up. Ah, 2 up. Alright, I'll take it. Whoa. Alright, this one, be careful of the bat. And here, these bats are pretty annoying. Again, they just kind of move around unpredictably. This boss also can be tricky, and again, is a case where I just want to come in with a lot of extra life. But you can reduce the risk just by, playing it safe. Don't attack him while he's doing the flamethrower. Run when he's doing that. Try not to break him apart like I just did. This fight's actually going really poorly right now. Holy crap. I've never seen him break into so many pieces. Alright, we're going to lose this one. No? Alright, nice. You have to hit him 9 times. It's one of the only bosses I know the exact HP because I had to save state practice it. Yeah, it was a good demo of how hectic that fight can be. Again, I feel like the pace of this game kind of alternates between tough stages and easier ones. So, the ostrich stage is pretty tough, but then the submarine stage, not so bad. Pyramid stage is pretty tough. Music stage, not bad. This guy is a parody of the Sega Genesis game made by Konami called Rocket Knight Adventures, which has a similar boss, but does not play the piano. Alright, so for the shrimps, the D-King Classic. Come on with the roll. It's one of the cases where I do use the roll for its attack properties instead of just as an evade or a cancel. It does decent damage. It can kill the bats in one hit too, which sword beams can't. It's more powerful than a sword beam, which you wouldn't necessarily expect. This part we're just gonna rush, because wolves. Sometimes when you want to rush through a segment, it's better to do what I just did. Do diagonal boost spikes at the ground. And when you bounce back into the air, cancel out of it with a roll. Instead of just boosting horizontally and then either falling to the ground or just losing altitude as you roll until you basically are level with the ground, and one of your boosts will inevitably drop you right in front of an enemy. Alright, this part we just do whatever and pray. No. Like the spears in that pyramid hallway. The one with the rolling purple orb that I called out. I feel like the timing of this is different every time. I could be wrong and I'm just stupid, but it doesn't feel consistent, and that's why I just rush it. Get a little bit of health back here. We have enough lives, and the checkpoints are generous enough that just need to survive to the boss. Oh, I didn't want that one. Okay, it's okay. I don't know what instrument they are. I just call them horns. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think this is going to take you to the bubbles. Yeah, takes you to music notes and then the bubbles. I haven't mapped out exactly all the paths here, but this was the one. I was pretty sure this is the one that I took last time, and it turns out it is. So number 4 is the bubbles. Get under the symbols? I don't think so, because you collide with the side of the symbols. You can't just boost through them. So with the bubbles, you can't move down. And you do drift upwards, although you can cancel your vertical momentum for a short time. I always end up taking some damage there. The only trick that I can offer is when you're trying to escape the bubble, you can mash either the attack or the jump button. Use attack, because if you use jump, then as soon as you escape the bubble, you will jump. Usually hit the ceiling. This is the most fun boss fight in the game. It's like target practice. He's so small, moves around fast. As long as you cancel out of your boosts, these attacks are going to have a hard time keeping up with you. And also stick with diagonal boosts, because he tends to attack horizontally. I think I'm going to die on this attempt. Yeah, it's okay. Why is he staying on the ground? Get in the air. Get out of here. I want to attack you from below. It's pretty rough for an Axel fight. Nowhere near as brutal as the next Axel fight is going to be. So for this stage, I should point out that I have overclocking turned on with the emulator. And I also have the sprite limit disabled. Or turned up, or whatever. And that does make this stage play faster and look nicer. And I'm also going to turn on auto fire for my sword beam here, just so that I don't have to mash it. So yeah, the stage is a little bit harder this way, because it moves faster, but it's not too hard to start with, so it benefits from the increase in difficulty, and it's still not like it's particularly tough. This would be a good time to point out the development team behind SPARKSTER. Now, everyone knows, but no one has confirmed, that Rocket Knight Adventures was made by Treasure. You know, I'm not going to go into that because we're not playing Rocket Knight Adventures, but, like, there are certainly Treasure-like aspects to that game. Now, the people that made Rocket Knight Adventures, aside from the artist, had nothing to do with either of the Sparksters. The artist that worked on Rocket Knight Adventures did also do Rocket Knight Adventures 2, the Genesis Sparkster, and I think that's pretty evident from the character designs. And I think it's pretty evident from Sparkster's character designs that it was not the same artist. I like the style of Sparkster a lot. I like Rocket Knight Adventures too, but I prefer more comic book style of Sparkster versus the like more cartoony style, expressive characters of Rocket Knight Adventures. Sparkster has more of a pulp feeling to it, I guess I would say. Why does Rocket Knight Adventures... I don't know. Rocket Knight Adventures 2 look worse than Rocket Knight Adventures 1 if it's the same artist. He used up all his good material. I don't know. I think Rocket Knight Adventures 2 looks pretty good, but I've only played like the first 3 stages because it sucks. So, you might ask, well then, who did make Sparkster for the Super Nintendo? Was it the Contra team? Who, contrary to popular belief, had nothing to do with Treasure? Was it the Super Mario World team? No. Was it Sonic team? No. Was it the Front Mission team? Unconfirmed. It was the Axelay team. And they didn't really make... the lead programmer and the director and the art designer of this game really don't have many other credits. It's not... I'm always hesitant to say that means that they on many other games, because a lot of early games don't have complete credits, especially Japan-only releases. And I don't always trust the sources that I use for these things. We're just going to take the L on the first fight, just coming into it without full health. And I need to remember to turn off auto fire. So, yeah, that team, or the lead programmer, the art designer, and the director of Sparkster worked on the Sharp X86000 version of Akumajo Dracula, which is usually referred to as Castlevania Chronicles, although Castlevania Chronicles is the PlayStation port of the Sharp X86000 Castlevania. So they did that one, and they did Axelay. And that's, pretty much it. They have some varied credits. I mean, some of them worked on dozens of games, but not as, primary creative personnel. And, I point that out during the shoot 'em up stage because, those weapons, the diagonal beam weapon in particular, might make you think of Axelay. And there's some 3D effects in the game that might make you think, ooh, maybe this was designed programmed by someone who really understood how to use layer scrolling for impressive 3D effects. Oh, and we're screwed. Lost an arm. That is the end. Have we gotten any more strategy since last time? No. Since last time you saw me play, I have not got any better at this fight. In fact, I would say I've got worse, because it took me about 6 lives to get through it on my last attempt. Oh, exactly 380,000 points. 0,000. I can't believe I won after losing an arm so early. That was a fucking blessed run. Alright. 6 lives. This is great. So, what we gotta do here... No. What we gotta do here is be super patient in this first part. Don't screw around. You don't want to waste lives here. Most of the stage... Halo finds a way. Concerning streampad, what's concerning about it? I think this is reasonable advice. Yeah, so most of the stage is not that risky. But yeah, this part, just gotta take it slow. Then we got the boss, who is pretty tough. I did him in 2 attempts earlier today, but I think that was just lucky. He can definitely take some lives. And then after that is the TLB, and the TLB is really easy. So we're actually in good shape right now. All gonna come down to that final boss. Where are all these missiles going? Well, for one thing, it's hard to say whether they're missiles or bullets. I'd say characteristics of both. I don't seem to have any like steering coils. So you would think that they're bullets, but also they are apparently self-propelled. So I guess rockets. Yeah, rockets is what they would be. Anyway, I think they're going at Earth, right? Wanted to ask the wonderful Wizard of Ghouls my question, but I was so late that I ate the pizza. Yeah, I'm sorry, my parents suck, so... I mean, actually, it's not really their fault, but... it was a pain. If you die, your blood is on your hands. Yep. You said that. Said that right. Alright, here, don't use the rocket to kill these things. They look really strong, but actually, you just want to use the sword beam, because you'll bounce off them if you use the rocket. Not make any progress. This part's pretty easy. It's kind of like the swimming part in Rocket Knight Adventures. Alright, so Like Finds a Way's question was something about pizza. I have no recollection what the specifics were. That's really up to him to have written down. Stream takes no responsibility for questions submitted in Discord format prior to the opening of the broadcast. Is it okay to eat a pizza if it's set out for several hours? Oh, I didn't know that that was a immediate question. I thought that was like something you did one time in college, like 30 years ago. By the way, this boss is a great time to talk about pizza because nothing is going to happen for the next 5 minutes. So here's the thing about eating food that sits out. Now, I've visited Golem's home on a number of occasions, and I don't mean to say anything disparaging or make any accusations here, but Golem seems to have absolutely no reservations whatsoever about leaving food out for like 12 to 15 hours. Like long after I would have expected rats to collect or swarm and take over the house. You know, that's his decision to make, and there's nothing wrong with it. This is not the decision that I would make, but what I will tell you is that Golem doesn't seem to be sick very often. I never really heard him say, like, oh, I'm so sick today. Maybe he just keeps that to himself. But I think as long as you do it consistently, you know? If you want to eat pizza that's sat out for a long time, just make sure you always eat pizza that's sat out for a long time. Never refrigerate it. It's an all or nothing kind of system. Because you need to build up the tolerance. By the way, you can't even use auto fire for this part, because if you auto fire the sword, you won't be able to jump. I have no clue how this fight is supposed to be done. I've never bothered to try to learn. I'm saying that you will make it if you habitually eat hazardous food materials. Yeah, life finds a way, we'll find a way. This part, I just don't really bother with. Doesn't seem that well designed as a challenge. You just skip through a lot of it. You always eat days old. Yeah, but that's a D-King move. I mean, you're washing that down with a handful of Tootsie Rolls, so I don't know if that really is applicable to anyone else. I will say, in the realm of dodgy food or food paranoia, people are way too scared of expiration dates, particularly ones that are listed in the form of a Best Buy date. Not Best Buy, the electronics store, but Best Buy as in UI. I know a lot of people that throw food out as soon as it reaches the Best Buy date, or the expiration date. That is a waste. First of all, that's an estimate. There is no scientifically proven data that shows that every can of milk in every single refrigerator, regardless of the temperature, regardless of the air pressure, regardless of how long the milk was in the store, regardless of how long the milk is sat out on the counter, has the exact same lifespan. It's an estimate. And AK Mills, what's up? And the thing is, the vast majority of food, if it's bad, you can tell. If it's bad, it tastes bad or smells bad. If it doesn't smell bad, you can taste it. You won't die from a taste, trust me. That's not how bacteria works. And you just take a little taste if it doesn't smell bad. Well, first of all, just look at it. Does it look normal? Yes, it looks normal. Okay, does it smell normal? Yes, okay. Does it taste normal? Yes. Okay, it's fine to eat then. There's this is not a medical advice stream, but there are very few cases where bacteria has no appearance, taste, or smell. And in terms of stuff like sour milk, that isn't even bacteria. It's just... Oh, wait, maybe it is. I don't know. It's more just a taste thing. If you have a clean house without a bunch of shit in the air, food will stay okay sitting out longer. Yeah, true. Even the use-by date is way off most of the time. Yeah, exactly. And a lot of times, it can be wrong in the opposite direction, too. People in the USA keep bread around for 3 weeks, seemingly, because they're just so used to preservatives. But, bread is usually trash after one day. Not because it's gonna hurt you, but because it's stale as shit. Alright, let's try to focus on this boss fight here, because this is kind of the linchpin of the run. And then we'll get back to food spoilers debates. Alright, he's just gonna take hits here. Well, I'm loving this. Yup, this is great. That was half of his life. And now he's gonna do some complete bullshit. What a roller coaster of a boss fight that was. So when he's jumping around, I like to use the rocket boost because it does more damage. But once he starts doing flame breath and throwing wave attacks and stuff, I just switch to using the sword. And as the fight goes on, he spams more attacks, and a lot of times in a way that you maybe theoretically can dodge, but probably won't be able to. Especially with the lightning walls. And hitboxes on those lightning balls are pretty much extremely aggressive. The knockback from all of those attacks is going to do bullshit that throws you into other attacks. This is a pretty cheesy fight, I would say. It's by no means the Axel robot fight. If you're patient, you should be able to do it. Cold pizza is something that dogs and rats eat. No human being would eat cold pizza. You should be castrated and executed if you eat pizza straight out of the refrigerator. Just to make sure that during your time in death row, you don't sire any children. Oh, the flame breath. Alright, let's try not to get hit by the walkers this time. Alright, come on, Lion King. Let's go. So, yeah, the secret trick to this fight, which I just remembered, is to use a rocket boost at the ceiling to dodge when you think you have no room to dodge. Now, in that case, it wouldn't have worked, because he jumped at me, and I would have just bounced off him into the lightning wall. Alright, yeah, there you go. It was just the vertical rocket boost. So I think on normal difficulty, this is where the game ends. Someone else can confirm. The smoking corpse of the cyborg Lion King has now triggered a nuclear missile to fire at the Earth. Unbelievable. Sorry, a nuclear rocket. Rocket Knight is running to the escape pod. Chucks his girlfriend in. Says, get the fuck out of here. See you in space, bitch. Takes his time. Strikes a pose. And now we're on to the TLB. The true last bomb. And this is another part that is reminiscent of Axelai, this TLB. Reminds me a lot of the final boss of Axelai. This is a really cool looking boss. Just because of it's like this slimy mutant wolf head inside of a glass capsule. I don't know why that is a warhead that's being fired at the Earth, but it is, and it's pretty crazy. So yeah, you can just spam the sword while he's doing these flame waves. When he does the rainbow mines, you can stay at the back for rocket boost, and then roll your way back. And then when he does the laser, just stay on the floor. You can get in hits if you want, but really the safest time to get in hits is in between waves of the flame heads. I'm playing it a little risky because we still got some lives left. And this is a pretty safe fight if you just do it safe. Oh. So yeah, the fight will go pretty slowly if you just get in this one hit in between the flame heads, but it does work. Ta-da! Alright, we beat SPARKSTER on hard in 1 credit. That was a bit tougher than I expected, but really fun. Definitely a game that was worth learning to play well. Definitely one that lives up to the Rocket Knight branding. As good as, if not better than, Rocket Knight Adventures. And a really unique action platformer that plays really like nothing else in the 16-bit era. It's got the speed of Sonic, the combat of Mega Man, and the ears of a possum. Peace, bitch. What was that? And Rocket Knight's face here is a real optical illusion because his nose kind of vanishes into the background and it looks like the little whiskers on his nose are a human nose. By the way, guess what other game this development team made? They made Ponce. They did not make Twinbee Rainbow Bell Adventures, although some of them worked on Poppin' Twinbee and some of them worked on Daytona Twinbee. Well, at least they're not on Moby Games, which is sadly the best game credit database I know. They're not listed for Twinbee Rainbow Bell Adventures, but I did not specifically check the credits of that game. Twinbee Rainbow Bell Adventures, for those not in the know, is it's a Super Famicom game that never came out in the West. I think, someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it's Super Famicom only. It has a rocket boost mechanic. Oh, there's very hard mode unlocked now. It does have a rocket boost mechanic, but I don't know. I only played it once or twice, and it didn't feel good to play. The stage design just felt like crap.